world we live in loves to get its hands on anything related to superheroes. Whether it's in the form of comics, video games, movies, or TV shows, we simply can't get enough. Keeping the spectacle and the entertainment value aside, movies like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight, and Logan clearly demonstrate that it's possible to tell a great story in this genre. One could say the same thing for TV shows like The Boys, Daredevil, and Loki. Unfortunately, there are some pretty awesome superhero shows out there that simply went under the radar. Don't worry, we got you covered. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 forgotten 90s superhero shows that were way ahead of their time. All right, folks, without wasting any more time, let's jump right in. Mantis, 1994 to 1995. Created by Sam Raimi and Sam Hamm, and starring Carl Lumbly in the lead role, Mantis hit home back in the 90s in multiple ways. Dr. Miles Hawkins, after getting shot in the back during a riot while trying to save a child, gets paralyzed. In the meantime, his conservative political views begin changing and he starts becoming more liberal. He develops a powerful suit that makes his paralysis go away the moment he wears it. However, it's not permanent and his body returns to paralysis after removing the suit. But his suit doesn't just do that. It gives him special powers of enhanced speed, strength, and agility. It also gives him non-lethal paralysis darts. He uses his powers to help the less fortunate and ultimately becomes the masked vigilante, Mantis. This show stands out in many ways. It's the first superhero TV show with a black lead playing the titular superhero that also doesn't shy away from courageously dealing with police brutality and racism. However, there's another thing this show is known for. After the pilot episode, except for Carl Lumbly, all of the supporting characters were recast. And not just that, even Mantis' superhero costume changed significantly after the pilot. In the pilot episode, Mantis wore a suit and trench coat over the exoskeleton, and his mask left the top of his head exposed. But after the pilot episode, the suit and trench coat were abandoned. Many fans have reported that watching the pilot and then the rest of the series is like watching 2 different shows. Usually, TV shows keep continuity in mind, so you don't often see this happening. Fans have also noted that the show seems to get less political as it progresses. But despite its flaws, if you want to watch a superhero show that gives strong moral justifications to its protagonist for becoming a superhero, along with a compelling story, you simply can't go wrong with this one. The Flash, 1990 to 1991. Created by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, the 1990 TV show version of The Flash began as a different series altogether, titled Unlimited Powers. But Unlimited Powers was supposed to include a bunch of superheroes along with Flash, Green Arrow, Dr. Occult, Block, Wally West, and Oliver Queen's teenage daughter. Flash in that series wasn't supposed to be just a man coming to terms with his superpowers. Instead, it was supposed to be Barry Allen in his 40s, coming back from prison, living in a world in which superheroes were outlawed. Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo took inspiration from the comic books from the 1980s that reinvented the form in order to attract more adult readership. Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, American Flag, and Rocketeer. Danny Bilson has also said that Unlimited Powers was one of the best scripts he wrote in his entire life, but the idea of a dystopian world operated by supervillains who force the heroes into retirement or hiding was too much for CBS at the time. Of course, it doesn't sound too far-fetched now, in an era in which we have adult superhero shows like The Boys, Invincible, and HBO's Watchmen. Unfortunately, Unlimited Powers fell apart, and from that setback originated a solo, straightforward superhero show, The Flash. Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo took inspiration from Richard Donner's 1978 Superman movie, as well as Tim Burton's 1989 Batman movie. The latter was considered an influence on the overall atmosphere and the sound of the show. The iconic, memorable, and popular theme was composed by none other than the legendary music composer Danny Elfman, known for his works in numerous iconic cinematic masterpieces like Mission Impossible, Midnight Run, Men in Black, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and Tim Burton's Batman. Shirley Walker composed the music for the episode. The Flash effectively blended fashion and technology from the 1940s and 1950s with that of the modern day. It was way ahead of its time, as it became a TV show that was extremely cinematic and transcended the limitations of a TV production. Unlike Unlimited Powers, The Flash became an origin story about how Barry Allen becomes the Flash, and the creators of the show wanted to maintain an extremely delicate balance between Barry Allen's heroism and his humanity. For the series, Danny and Paul didn't have a specific formula. They wanted every episode to be a different movie with a different director. If the directors did a good job, they'd be brought back. And if they didn't do a good job, they wouldn't be. Some episodes even took about 9 days to shoot. After knowing all that, you bet they were serious about it and not just playing around. Don't miss this show at any cost.
You're crazy! No!
The Crow, Stairway to Heaven, 1998 to 1999. This one is for the fans of the Brandon Lee movie The Crow who have not seen the TV show yet. Based on the iconic, memorable, and popular comic book movie The Crow, Stairway to Heaven is a very good 90s superhero show in many ways. The pilot episode of the show is basically a TV version of the movie. Created by Bryce Zabel and starring Mark Dacascos, the show is about a rock musician named Eric Draven, who gets murdered along with his girlfriend Shelley Webster. A crow escorts Eric Draven back to the world of the living beings. Neither living nor dead, Eric develops the ability to heal from wounds, and the rest of the series follows from there. The TV show is not as atmospheric or cinematic as the movie, but it's still worth your time. I mean, how many superhero shows from the 90s had the atmosphere and gothic vibes of this show? Of course, many viewers have noted its flaws and imperfections. Some believe that the production is cheap and the script is forced. But on the other hand though, Mark Dacascos gets the opportunity to show his martial arts skills. So the action fans are still getting something out of it, I guess. Also, overall, the action choreography is pretty solid, and every episode contains well choreographed and impressive action sequences. It's a pretty fun show that you can only afford to miss at your own risk. Nightman, 1997 to 1999. During the 1990s, many independent publishers of comic books emerged to compete with Marvel and DC. One of them was Malibu Comics. Malibu Comics got absorbed by Marvel in 1994, but before that, it released a bunch of characters, Nightman being one of them. A TV show based on those comics was greenlit for production, and when it first released in 1997, it became known for a very unusual superhero origin story. Created by Glenn A. Larson and starring Matt McComb, this show is about a jazz musician named Johnny Domino who's struck by lightning in a car accident. After that, he's able to hear evil thoughts of other people. But here's the catch though. He doesn't possess any other superpower. So in order to take action and actually do something about his newfound superpowers, he relies on technology and wears a bulletproof suit with a blue cape that gives him abilities such as flight, advanced sight, and camouflage style invisibility. Its uniqueness lies in its fusion of noir elements with elements of a superhero show. Matt McComb's performance as Johnny Domino was praised, as many people said he had the personality, physicality, and looks of an action movie star. However, the show was not free of criticism altogether. The show's low-budget production values were pointed out, specifically evident in the special effects. Nightman's suit itself looked visually striking. The flying sequences and laser effects didn't look good enough because of the poor CGI. However, practical effects and hand-to-hand combat sequences were executed in a better way, owing to Matt McComb's strength as a stunt performer. The writing of the show also fell under scrutiny. Many viewers felt that the episodic storytelling is extremely inconsistent, shifting between over-the-top science fiction elements and grounded crime stories. Despite all the flaws, the show over the years has developed a loyal and dedicated fan base. It's flawed, but also fun, and we would highly recommend this. Big Bad Beetleborgs, 1996 to 1998. Created by Haim Saban, Shuki Levy, and the Toei Company, Big Bad Beetleborgs is set in the fictional town of Charterville. It's about 3 kids, Drew, hey that's me, Joe, and Roland, who go on a haunted mansion after accepting a dare from rich kids Van and Trip. There, they accidentally end up releasing a ghost called Flabber, who offers to grant them a wish in return for releasing him. They wish to become the Big Bad Beetleborgs from their favorite comic. Their wish gets fulfilled, but in the process, the enemies of the Beetleborgs from the comics also come to life, and then the rest of the series follows from there. From the creators who brought us the iconic Power Rangers franchise, this series is bound to entertain us through and through. Although it never became as popular as Power Rangers, it's definitely worth checking out. However, unlike Power Rangers, the show focuses more on the sitcom elements than the enemy of the week. All you nerds out there, you cannot afford to miss this one. Swamp Thing, 1990 to 1993. Developed by Joseph Stefano and starring Dick Durock as Dr. Alec Holland, aka Swamp Thing, this series is about a man who gets dumped in the Louisiana swamps after getting caught on fire and doused with chemicals by Dr. Anton Arcane. These swamps eventually turn him into a superhuman who becomes fiercely determined to fight the evils of the world. Many viewers have taken notice of its heroic atmosphere and creepy tone. Things really pick up during the second season. Cinematography is pretty cool too. Its theme is partly haunting and partly melodious, and that has a juxtapositional effect on us at the beginning of each episode. Yeah, there's an abundance of cliches and over-the-top elements. Even the special effects have issues. But despite all the flaws, this series has stood the test of time and attained a cult status among its dedicated fanbase. You also don't often see superhero shows with this kind of premise. It tried to do something unique by blending the superhero genre with horror, and we absolutely respect that. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. You won't regret it. Superboy, 1988. Created by father and son duo Alexander Salkind and Ilya Salkind, Superboy is a TV series about our beloved Superman's adventures as a young college-going boy studying journalism at Schuster University. Disguising himself as Clark Kent, he secretly works for a governmental organization that investigates paranormal and unusual disturbances. His girlfriend, Lana Lang, also works with him. In the show, we see young Superman battling a variety of supervillains, including Lex Luthor. John Hames Newton played the titular character in Season 1, while Gerard Christopher took over from Season 2 through Season 4. This TV show interpretation of the young Superman ran for 4 seasons. Out of all the Superman interpretations that we've seen so far on screen, in the form of TV shows or in the form of movies, this one really stands out for its unique premise and storyline. I think if someone reboots the Superboy show for today's era, it might actually end up resonating with the contemporary audience. That's how ahead of its time the show's premise was when it first came out. Many fans of the show have noted that as the budgets for the show grew with each season, the overall quality of the show improved as well. Despite some issues, the flying sequences were also well executed, especially if you consider the time period in which this show came out. It's insanely fun and definitely worth your time. According to a popular saying, all works of art are products of their times. But that doesn't always turn out to be true. Throughout the history of cinema and TV shows, many works took courageous stances to transcend the limitations time imposed upon them. They did that by coming up with interesting, timeless, and innovative stories. They did that by relying on something other than technology, which can quickly become outdated after the arrival of new and better technology. As you can see, many shows on our list had special effects that didn't stand the test of time. However, their stories, concepts, and ideas did. We hope you enjoyed our list of forgotten superhero shows from the 90s that were way ahead of their time. Alright folks, time to sign off. If you enjoyed our video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and ring that notification bell so that the next time we put out any kind of video, you'll find out first. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon for our next video. Stay safe and stay marvelous.